Guys, welcome back. So we are home from Disney World. I'm so sad. I wish we were still there. We had the best time. It was so much fun. So I can't wait to go over everything we did. This is going to be like a trip recap little video because I want to share with you guys things that we did. It was so hot. So I want to go over some of the beat the heat tricks that we did while we were on this trip. So I can't wait to share everything that we did over this June trip. If you're new here, hi, I'm Taylor, and I'm so happy that you're here. On this channel, I like to share tips and tricks for taking your family to Disney World. So please like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps it out, and I cannot wait to go over everything we did. Okay, so the first little tip that I want to go over. So this is how our trip started out. As many of you know, we were trying to save a lot of money on this trip. I was trying to go really cheap, so we flew Spirit. And I found tickets for me and Stella round trip for around $200, which I thought was great. And I thought, perfect, that's cheap. You know, I loved it. I was so excited. Okay, with Spirit, because it's a budget airline, you have to pay for a checked bag, a carry-on. The only thing that they let you have for free is a personal item, which can be a purse or a backpack. So that is why, if you've watched the previous video, we packed in only a backpack. So I will share a little bit more about the backpack too. But with Spirit, they are maybe a little bit prone to running behind, being delayed. So this is the first thing that I learned. Our flight was the last one out for the day. We were supposed to leave Nashville at 7 and we were supposed to arrive in Orlando at 10. Well, our flight got delayed 3 times. Before we even left our house, headed to the airport, it had already gotten delayed once. On our way to the airport, it got delayed again. And I was like, well, that's okay. So we get to the airport, we get in there, and we're like, we're just going to kind of take our time. We're going to go eat. Well, then it got delayed for a 3rd time. So we ended up not even leaving Nashville. I want to say it was maybe like 11:30 at night. And so we ended up landing in Orlando at 2:30 in the morning. So it was very late. I was so happy to finally get there, but it was a long day because we had gotten up early that morning because we were so excited to get to Orlando. You can't sleep when you're going on a trip, especially to Disney, because you're so excited. So didn't get there till 2:30. We did take Mears Connect, which I'll talk more about that too. We were, I guess, maybe the last group of people to get there. And so there wasn't enough on or in our group for a charter bus. So they ended up putting us on like a 15-passenger van, which was fine. I really liked it. It was great. We were the second stop. Once we arrived there, they stopped at the yacht club first, and then we were the next one at All Star Sports. So it did not take very long at all. I cannot recommend them enough. I really liked Mears Connect. But from this, what I have learned is don't book the latest flight unless that is your only option. It was our only option because we went with my cousin and her husband, and they had to work, and so we took the later one. If you can help it, you want to be like one of the first flights, maybe second flights out. You're less prone to delays, which you're probably like, Taylor, we already knew that. But that's something that I learned. So I don't think that unless we can help it, I probably will never book the last flight out again because, like I said, they're more prone to delays. So anyways, we got there, but it was late. So we get to All Star Sports and we check in. I had ordered groceries. So we picked up those at Bell Services and headed straight to our room. And we get into our room. We finally get changed, like, everything kind of put up, and we are in the bed at 3:30 a.m. Now, Stella is wide awake because she is so excited. And I had ordered her, she loves these cheese balls. I think they're by Planters. We always order them when we go to Disney. It's like a little special treat that she likes to get when we go to Disney. And so she was so excited, couldn't go to sleep. We were all like trying to get some sleep, and all I can hear, she's watching. I'm like, I've got to go to bed because we're going to get up at 6:30 because we had to purchase Genie Plus, and then we had to be ready to go at 7 to book our rides. So I was like, I've got to go to sleep, Stella. So she was watching her iPad, and she said, she was hungry. So I gave her those Planters cheese balls. So she's sitting there. I'm trying to go to sleep, and all I hear is crunch, crunch, crunch. And I was like, Stella, we got to go to sleep. So that was really funny because bless her, she was so excited and she was starving and she had been a trooper. She'd been up all day. So, anyways, I thought that was hilarious. I was trying to get some sleep and all I could hear was cheese balls crunching. So, anyway, so that is my first tip. If you can help it, don't book the last flight out. I would try to book one the very first thing in the morning. I know a lot of people don't want to get up early, but I just think it makes your whole day go smoother if you are the first, second flight out with the airline that you're flying. It just everything goes a little bit smoother. So that's my number one tip. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the heat, y'all. Of course, I'm going to go to Disney anytime I can because I love it so much, but June is not going to be my number one pick. It was so hot, and we are from the South. We are used to the heat, okay? It was so hot. I cannot even describe to you. I put on sunscreen every day. I lathered me up, Stella up. We're fair. My shoulders got so sunburned. It was so hot. I mean, we had a great time, but I wanted to kind of share some tips with you about trying to beat the heat. So in some previous videos, like my packing videos, there's these little fans that we took. I have big fans too, but this time we took little ones because we only took a backpack. So those were a lifesaver. We loved those. They're rechargeable, so they're not battery operated. So that's good if they start running down. Just, you know, you can plug them into your portable charger and use those. So we loved those fans. I'm so glad I packed those. Cooling towels help. And then we would try to like take several breaks. If we were on a ride outside, we would stop, try to go inside, get like a slushie or a drink or something to cool off for a minute, and then we'd go to the next ride. Or we try to do like an outside ride, then go to an inside ride that had air conditioning. So you just kind of have to strategize and make sure that you are kind of getting out of the heat for a little bit. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water, stay hydrated. I absolutely love liquid IVs. We always take those with us. They are wonderful. I think if you like one packet is equivalent to drinking like 3 bottles of water. So they really helped us a lot. So we took those, but like I said, we try to take a lot of breaks during the day. In one of the videos, our Hollywood Studios vlog, you'll see, and Stella had chocolate all over her face. There's like something right here. I'm like, what is that? And it was chocolate. But if you see that video, that's what's on the side of her face. So we stopped and got a little snack, and we found some shaded area for us to all kind of sit down. It was still hot, but at least we were in the shade, and we sat there probably a good 30 minutes. We just kind of sit and chatted. Stella played with her toys that we had bought in Toy Story Land, and that was great. We tried to do that a lot. Take breaks, cool off, drink some water. So that's another tip. Like, make sure you're doing that if you're going in these hot summer months. Even if you are from the South or from somewhere hot, I cannot describe to you how hot Florida is. It's just a different kind of hot, and it's very humid here. And it's humid down there, but it's still different. So make sure that you take precaution. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water, take some fans, cooling towels, go in and out of air conditioning. So just kind of listen to your body too. I'd hate for somebody to get overheated or dehydrated because that can just ruin your whole trip. So make sure you are staying hydrated and cool during your trip, especially in the summer because it is hot. Okay, so let's talk about the backpack. All right, so as you know, we each took a backpack. So on the way there, everything fit into the backpacks perfectly. Stella had a little bit of room. I told her if she wanted to buy something, there's a little bit of room left. If she did, we could get it in there. Okay. And I said, I'm not buying anything because I had literally no space left. Okay. Well, what do y'all think happened? I bought some stuff, not a lot for me, but still I let her go a little bit overboard. And I thought, well, this is great. I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't worry about it though during the trip. I thought we'll figure it out later. So on the way down there, the backpack was perfect. Loved it. I would highly recommend doing it again if you don't buy anything. So I'm going to try to be very honest with you guys. Down there, it was fine. So on the way back, I said, I don't know what we're going to do. I couldn't fit all the toys in there. Somehow I got all the clothes back in there, all the shoes in there. Everything fit back in there fine, but I had no room to put. Stella bought several toys. I think I ended up buying an ornament or two, maybe 2 ornaments, and I bought a t-shirt. That's all I bought, which is not a lot. Most of the time I buy a lot of stuff. So That's all that I purchased for myself. But Stella bought a lot of toys. So she loves Toy Story. Like, she is obsessed with Toy Story right now. So she bought several Toy Story toys, and they wouldn't fit in the backpack. And nobody had room because my cousin and her husband, they also took backpacks too, because we're all trying to go really cheap. So nobody had any extra room. So when we were leaving the hotel, they still have those 50th anniversary totes for sale. They're like $1.50, I think, for the bigger one, maybe $2. I mean, they're real cheap. So I thought, I'm gonna buy one of those and I'll just stick all her toys in there. It'll be fine. Like, they're not gonna really say anything. So that's what I did. I bought the tote and I put all her little toys in there. So we get to the airport. It's time to board our flight finally. So, oh, and I want to say this too. The security is a breeze. Like, that is why I will always take either a carry-on or a backpack now, because you don't have to wait in that long line to check a bag. You just pull it up on your phone, your ticket on your phone, scan it. Security was so easy. I mean, we were in like the start of security through the end of security literally was less than 10 minutes. It was so easy. So I will probably never take a checked bag again, just because it was so much easier. So I loved that. So anyways, okay, fast forward. It's almost time for us to board our flight on the way back home. So this didn't happen in Nashville, but in Orlando, we called the poor lady. She was just doing her job, but we called her the bag police. She was on everybody's butt about their bag. And I thought, what in the world? She was making people go left and right. That's not going to count as a personal item. That's not going to count as a checked bag. You're going to have to go to the counter up here and pay for it. So I'm thinking, with my little tote bag, this was my thinking. I thought, there's a Disney store in the airport. Surely they're not going to say anything, because they might think that I bought all these toys there because I had the Disney bag. I thought, they're not going to say, they're not going to make me pay for this. They made me pay for it, and it was expensive. So if I would have paid for it before we got to the airport, or before we boarded our flight, I want to say, to pay for an extra personal item or whatever, it was like $35 or $40. But I really did not think they'd say anything. I had my backpack and then this little tote bag. It's like a shopping bag, tote bag. I mean, it was like this big. So she's like, you're going to have to pay for that. Okay, so I go up to the counter to pay for it. $100 to pay for that little tote bag of toys that I've already paid more for, because you buy them at Disney. So I was so mad. I thought, you have got to be kidding me. But I had to pay it because, I mean, we couldn't leave the toys there and there wasn't anywhere to put them in the backpack. So that was a lesson learned. That was such a bummer. I thought, you have got to be kidding me. $100. So anyways, learn from me. Don't do that. Don't think they're going to say, oh, it's fine. You bought that stuff here. You're good. Don't worry about it. Just, stick it under the seat. No, you're going to have to pay for it. But make sure you pay for it before you get to the airport, or before you even get in line, so the bag police aren't going to get on to you. So make sure you do it before. Also, another thing that I learned, I did not know this. So the lady that was in front of us, she had a little boy that's probably 9. And we were talking about them making you pay for a bag. So she said on the way down to Orlando, her son, they took backpacks too, but his was a backpack, but it had wheels on it. Okay. Well, since it had wheels, they made him pay for it as a carry-on instead of a personal item, because it had wheels. So I think she had to pay like $100 too on the way down there, because, I mean, she wasn't expecting that. So that was something I learned. If you're planning on taking a backpack because you want to save money, make sure it doesn't have wheels on it, because they're going to make you pay for a carry-on. Because I don't know what the reason was, that she said that on the way back, I think they had went to visit family or something. So she said on the way back, we just borrowed a backpack from a family member and left the one that they had brought down with the wheels on it, just left it there so they wouldn't have to pay. So they are big sticklers about your bag. If they're too big, they're going to make you pay. If it's got wheels on it, they're going to make you pay for that. Or if you have just a little extra bag and you're like, oh, it'll be fine, they're going to make you pay. But make sure you do it before you get on the plane, or before you get to the airport, so you're not paying $100 as opposed to $35 like I did. Lesson learned. I will never do that again. So learn from Taylor and don't do that. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, let me change positions real quick. So the next thing that I want to talk about that I learned, I had heard bloggers that I like to watch say this, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm talking about Genie Plus. Okay, so I always recommend Genie Plus. I think it is just great if you don't like to wait in line. If you have little ones, I think it just makes the day go by smoother. You don't have to wait for a ride, wait in long lines. I just really like it. I think it is a necessity for every park. Okay, that being said, the last day that we were there, our park pass was for Animal Kingdom, and we were going to 3 parks that day. I have never done that before, so I was kind of excited. So not that Genie Plus was expensive that day, but I told my cousin, I said, let's just try not to buy Genie Plus. We're going to Animal Kingdom. Surely it won't be too bad. We had a plan to rope drop Flight of Passage. So I said, let's just not get it. Let's just try it without it. And if we get there and we think we need it, we'll just buy Genie Plus there. So we did, and it was great. We did not need it. And we went to 3 parks that day. We went to Animal Kingdom, and then we hopped over to Epcot, and then we ended the day at Hollywood Studios, and we didn't have Genie Plus, and I'm so glad that we didn't buy it. Like I said, not that it was expensive that day, but we rode everything that we wanted to ride. So we rope dropped Flight of Passage, and then we went straight to Navi River Journey. Like, we just tried to do things that were right there, and we would look at the wait times, of course, before we went, but um, everything, it was all fine. We never waited in line more than 10 minutes. So I'm glad we did that. Even at Epcot, I'm trying to think what we rode at Epcot. We went back to Epcot that day because we had a reservation for a beer garden, and I will have to do a review on it. That is my favorite restaurant now that we have ever been to at Disney. It just, the atmosphere, it was so much fun. So I'm not gonna get off track. I'll do a review on beer garden. It was so much fun, and your kids will love it. But we didn't need it there. We rode, I'm trying to think. Stella loves Living with the Land. So we went back to the Land Pavilion. We rode Living with the Land, which was a walk on. Then we waited for Soarin'. And then from there, I'm trying to think I think we only rode like 3 rides there. We wanted to ride Remy's again. And while we were eating, we checked the wait time, and we were almost done. And the wait time said 40 minutes at Remy's. I'm like, y'all, we've got to book it over there because that is, y'all know if you've been, that is a short wait time for a standby line for Remy's. So we're like, okay, so we tried to hurry up and pay and all that. Well, by the time we got out of the restaurant and started walking towards France, it was up to like 85 minutes. So we decided not to wait that long. We'd already ridden it on the second day we went to Epcot. So we'd already ridden it that day, so we didn't go back and ride it. So I want to say we just kind of walked around and looked at like some of the topiaries. They were so pretty, and maybe got some more snacks or something to take. And then we just headed to Hollywood Studios. So I'll say all that to say I really do not think that you need it at Animal Kingdom, the Genie Plus. I don't think that you need it. And unless you are starting at Animal Kingdom and then hopping to Epcot, and that's the only time you're going to be at Epcot, then yes, get Genie Plus. But since we had already been and we had already ridden what we wanted to, I didn't think it was necessary. So we didn't get it for our Animal Kingdom day, and we didn't need it at Epcot. And then we had already been to Hollywood Studios, so we had ridden everything we wanted to there. So we didn't need it. So I now have changed my mind on, I don't think that you need it for Animal Kingdom, especially if that's the only park you're going to and you're going to be there all day. You don't need it. And as the day goes on, people normally start in Animal Kingdom and they stay till closer to 2, and then they hop somewhere else. So if you could even stay all day, or if that's the day you're going, if you wanted to sleep in, go to the swimming pool, chill for a little bit, and then about 1:30, maybe head there about 1 and then get there at least by like 1:30. It's going to be slow, and I really don't think that you'll need it. So that was another tip I learned. Now I don't think you need it at Animal Kingdom. Okay, now I want to talk about, this is just kind of to share some stuff with y'all about our grocery delivery. So like I said, we always use Publix. Never had an issue with Publix, or it's Instacart. We use Publix, but it's through Instacart. Anyways, so I had picked the latest time that you could for our groceries to be delivered. Like I said, if you're not there and you're not ordering alcohol, they will leave them at Bell Services. And then once you get there, you can just stop by Bell Services and pick your groceries up and then head to your room. So while we're in the airport, after our flight's been delayed 3 times now at this point, I get a call from a number that I don't know, and I almost didn't answer it, but I'm glad I did. It was like I forget where it was from, but anyway, so I answered it, and it was a lady from Instacart, but it wasn't the driver or the delivery person. It was somebody from Instacart, and she was saying that they needed my last name and my room number um, to leave my groceries. That the driver was there, but she couldn't leave my groceries because I didn't have my room number listed or whatever. And I said, I have never had that happen before. And I said, and also I said, I still don't have my room number yet because um like when you go on the app to check in, this is another tip I learned too. So okay, if you when you go on the app to to go on and check in, like it's your day of your arrival day, go ahead, you get on there early, go ahead and check into your resort. So I did that, and I was trying to be completely honest because I didn't know what time we would get there. And it has all these different time slots that you can choose from. So our flight was supposed to land, the original flight time was supposed to land at 10. So I picked that we would arrive between 10 and 11. So that's what I picked. So at this point, it is, I don't know, 9 o'clock. So she got there earlier, anyways, the driver did. So, which is fine. But we weren't there. And I told the lady that I was talking to, I said, I still don't have a room number because I selected, we would arrive to the resort between 10 and 11. So I said, I don't have a room number. I said, I can give you my last name, but we don't have a room number yet. We haven't been assigned a room. So I said, let me call the hotel and see. I said, I've never said that I've never had this happen that they needed a room number because normally if you just give them your name, they can find you on the reservation. So I told her I would call her back. So I called All Star Sports. The lady that I talked to, I wish I had gotten her name. She was so nice and so helpful. And she was like, when I explained to her what they were saying, I said, the driver is out there, the delivery person is out there, but they are saying they cannot leave my groceries with y'all at Bell Services because I don't have a room number to give her. And I said, we haven't received a room number yet because they haven't checked us in or whatever. We haven't been assigned a room number. So she was like, that is not true. That, I don't know why they're telling you that that's not true. And she said, tell them that I guess she had walked out there. She said, I tell them I see the driver and that we are more than happy to get your groceries. Oh, and also she asked me my name, so she found my reservation or whatever. She said, tell the driver that we are more than happy to get your groceries for you. And then when you get here, you can just come to Bell Services and get them. So I called the lady back and I said, the lady that I talked to said that they're more than happy to get the groceries and keep them for me and let me get them when I get there because I don't have a room number yet. And she kind of argued with me a little bit. And so, anyways, I said, the lady that I'm talking to says she can see the driver out there and just to leave them at Bell Services. It's fine because I didn't have alcohol or anything. So it was literally like peanut butter and bread and waters and Diet Cokes. I mean, it wasn't anything special in those cheese balls, those Planters cheese balls. So, anyways, they did end up leaving them there, but that was such a headache. I was already ill because our flight had been delayed so long. I'm trying to entertain Stella because it's past her bedtime now and she's wild as all get out because she's ready to get there. She's tired. You know how your kids, they can be just crazy, just wild as a buck when they're so tired. So I'm trying to deal with her. We're in like one of the little stores in the airport trying to find a snack or whatever, just something to keep her entertained. I'm on the phone with them trying to figure all this out. And so anyways, that was one dilemma that we had, but it worked out fine. And the lady that helped me at All Stars, thank you so much because she was so nice and so helpful. So that was my only issue with this past trip is that, and they have never asked us that before. Now, if you order alcohol, you do have to be present to get your groceries because you have to show them your ID to prove that you are 21 or older. So, but we've never had an issue with our groceries. So, anyways, they ended up being delivered, but that was a little bit stressful. So, if that happens to you, that is not true. They do not have to have a room number. If you have a reservation, but your room is still not ready, they will accept your groceries as long as you don't have alcohol. And then you can just go to Bell Services and pick them up. So if that ever happens to you, just call the front desk and they should help you. So Just remember that too. That's not true. You don't have to have a room number. So if your room's not ready, but you do have a reservation, just call, give them your last name, and they will help you out. Okay, guys, I wanted to bring Stella over here to kind of wrap this video up about what our favorite things are, what some new things that we did that she liked, and maybe some tips that she learned on this trip. So, all right, Stella, I'm going to ask you some questions, girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Okay, what was your favorite thing that we did on this trip?
I don't know. Ride Linky.
Right. Oh, I know what one.
Oh, Ride Tron.
Tron. I knew that's what it was. Tron was amazing. Wasn't it?
Hey!
So I want to tell y'all this while she was talking about Tron. So, as you know, I don't know what you call them, but they look like the little motorcycle part that you sit on that is the actual roller coaster part. So Stella didn't want to ride on that. She wanted to ride the ride so bad, but she did not want to ride on the motorcycle part. It kind of scared her. So if you didn't know this, on the very back at the end of all the motorcycles, there is just a normal roller coaster cart that you just sit down in, and then you pull the bar to your lap.
I sit on the motorcycle where you can test it out, and it hurt my belly so bad. It felt like I was about to throw up.
Yeah, so she's like, Mommy, I do not want to do this. So if you didn't know this, they do have just a regular roller coaster cart on the very back behind all of the little motorcycle things that you can sit in. So when we got up there, I asked the lady, I said, she wants to ride this so bad, but she doesn't want to ride on the motorcycle. Could we please sit in the actual, just the little car thingy? And she's like, yes, of course. They were super nice. So we rode on the very back in that. So if you're scared and you didn't think you could ride it because you didn't want to ride on the motorcycle, you can ride on the very back in the regular roller coaster cart. And it was still super fun, wasn't it?
I got on when I went to Disney on our last trip, I got this doll, my Woody, and my puppy kind of destroyed it.
You're so silly. So anyways, we got a new Woody this time. I don't know what that has to do with Tron. I guess she just wanted to show y'all. Yeah, our little weenie dog, Penny, chewed the arms off of poor Woody here. So we ended up getting another one while we were there that I had to pay $100 to bring back home in that bag. Still, I was telling them about the bag police at the hotel. I mean, not the hotel, the airport. She was on everybody, wasn't she?
He was on everyone. She's like, you're going to have to take that and put it up front. You're going to have to take that and put it up front.
And pay for this bag. So anyways, so we had to pay to bring Stella's toys home.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your favorite restaurant we ate at while we were there? Because we went to a couple new ones.
Pizza Rizzo.
Out of all of them, Pizza Rizzo. We do love Pizza Rizzo.
Pizza Rizzo is my favorite.
Girlfriend, you keep hitting this microphone. They're going to be all staticky. They're going to be like, Stella, we can't hear your mom because it's all staticky. So we do love Pizza Rizzo. It's a good little quick service restaurant. And I've talked about it before on some other videos. It's just pizza, and they're little personal pan pizzas. They're cheap. You get, I think with the kids meal, you get like one of those drinkable yogurts and an orange. And then the adults get a salad to go with theirs. So it's really good. But we also...
I'm a noodle.
You're a what?
I'm a noodle.
A noodle? So we also went to Ohana, which Stella only ate the noodles. She loved the noodles. So that was an expensive dinner for noodles. And then we ate, like I said earlier, at the beer garden. And that was my favorite. That's where you danced with the little waiter, and he was so nice. Remember?
Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm a little noodle, and this is the bowl. Oh.
Yeah, that's what she just ate, the noodles. And then she fell asleep. We did have a late reservation. So we had went to Bibbidi Boppity that day, and so I was excited because she'd be dressed up for dinner. But the only reservation we could find was like at 9:30 or 9:50. It was late, but that place was still hopping. I couldn't believe how busy it was. So after she ate all these noodles and she was tired, we were kind of in a corner, and so I just pushed 2 chairs together. I wish I would have took her picture, but she went to sleep in those chairs while we finished eating, didn't you? And then she never woke up the whole time till the next morning, because we left there, and you can get directly on the monorail. So we had to take the monorail, and then I forget where we got off the monorail. Then we had to take a bus back to our hotel, and she slept the whole time. I just got her out of the stroller and put her right in the bed, and she went to sleep. Girl. So, okay, let's do one more thing because you're getting silly. So what is one more thing? Okay, tell everybody that's watching, if they were to go to Disney this summer before school starts back, like what's one thing they should do with their kids? Think about it really hard and think what did you like to do with me while we were at Disney?
Can I say two things?
Sure, you can do two.
If you had a baby, you could do Ariel,
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, and you could do maybe Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, the babies can go on Haunted Mansion. It may scare them a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yes, they could go. I don't think none of those have height requirements.
Okay.
Okay. And what about for bigger kids like you?
Okay, if you are 7, 6, or 8, you could ride Big Thunder Mountain.
Yep.
You could ride Slinky.
Mm-hmm.
You could ride. I rode Everest 2 times, but
it's not your favorite.
No, but I could say Everest.
Yeah, they could ride Everest.
But
what about Guardians? You liked it this time.
I'm not
Sorry.
going Guardians.
You're out of there.
Guardians.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, Stella. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap this video up. I hope these tips kind of helped and kind of a little bit of our trip recap. So I hope you learned some stuff from everything that I've talked about. She is crazy. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys stay tuned for more videos coming up about this June trip. I'm going to share some more things with you. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.